Welcome back. As we continue on chapter 4 here, collecting lagniaps.
I'm not going in there. She's clearly had enough of me.
Beauregard's room. Still, I think this is one of the lagniaps, but I'm not too sure. I've completed some lagniaps to access one of his memories. This puzzle has already been completed. What the? There's blood. Just gonna return back to the wishing tree, see if there's anything new. Any more lagniaps around this area? Use the wishing tree again. It's grunting and all. There.
What is it? What do you want? I want... Oh. You should have it.
She will call you when it's time. Don't ignore her. Pardon me. This one is closed.
It's blocked. We went through Dr. Gray's office. This has been solved. Jeremy's treatment.
Dearest Dr. Manzetti, I find myself in a losing battle with my patient. As I've disclosed in my previous letter, his delusions have him completely captured. It's bad enough that he is torturing himself with paranoia, but his madness turns out to be quite persuasive to others, effectively laying the ground for mass delusion. I am writing to you in hope that you can give me some guidance. Beyond my ambition to avoid devastating surgery on my patient, I have grown worried about my own defenses. The words of my patient are deranged, yet they often resonate with something primitive within me. I have tried photographing his brain with X-rays. It was surprisingly difficult to get good results. Dark blotches on the plates kept obscuring all details. My patient looked at the bad plates and cried out in terror, telling me the dark areas was the shadow of the worm, eating him from inside. I could not see anything out of the ordinary. I hope this is a sign that my mind is not as receptive to the madness as I had feared. After further inquiry, my patient described the shadows inside his mind as some kind of chthonic monstrosity that wants to undermine his sanctuary. This is clearly a reference to a place he calls Teroea, a sort of library or convent that works as a psychological haven. With this imaginary haven threatened by this Chthonian, he has now constructed another, less pleasant hiding spot. Lately, he has been bringing up a metaphor of a steamboat that has run aground, that he feels like he needs to start the engines and reverse, but he is afraid that the hole in the hull would cause the whole ship to sink. I've been watching him turn this metaphor into reality for the last week. He knows it's made up, but he is doubling down, trying to make it a real memory. I feel certain that this is my chance to break through the barriers of his self-deceit.
Looks like I'm gonna be probably continuing two endings. Now, the one thing that I need to know is I might have missed a Lagniappe. Let's see. Dying with Dignity. The sheet music. This is for Emily. The sheet music is where during the catacomb section in chapter 2. This. Fuck. Okay. I have to return back to chapter 2 just to get the sheet music that I'm not going to complete at all. Beast of Burden. Just about 2 more Lagniappes. The Heartwood Curse. Wait, what? Okay, there's the Heartwood Curse. Dying with Dignity. Oh well, that would equal 3. Just 2. Alright, let's see. Anything else around this area? Do I have any set of keys?
Conley had run their car off the bridge. He pulled Grace out of the sinking car, but left her father to drown. He could have saved him. There was time. He just chose not to. Instead, he took Grace back to New Orleans and collected his paycheck. Comby never thought he'd be so happy to be back at Deseto. It felt like he had crawled through a long, dark tunnel of misery and regret. Now that he was back, Comby could look into the steps mentioned in the contract. But there was one thing that gnawed on him. The two orderlies still hadn't found Jeremy. Comby figured this was good news. Emily had reminded him about some strange deaths at Deseto, and Comby wasn't sure who he could trust. McCarthy was a deadbeat. His mere presence annoyed Comby. It was like watching the worst version of himself mock him by simply being worthless. While Comby enjoyed watching the child outplay the drunkard, there was something terrifyingly familiar about Grace. It was taunting him, like he was supposed to remember, but couldn't. Dr. Gray was somehow mixed up in this business with the Dark Man, Detective Comby decided. He had to be. Either Dr. Gray was using the idea of the Dark Man to manipulate and torture Jeremy, or the Dark Man was an actual powerful being possessing Jeremy. And in that case, Dr. Gray was simply a stooge. Maybe both could be true at once. Comby felt his mind racing in all directions. No matter what, he had to find a way to break the pact. That was what Jeremy said was needed. It didn't even matter what was true or not. If Jeremy wouldn't leave Deseto before the contract was broken, then Comby had to make it happen. He just wished the steps on the contract made a little more sense.
Wait.
The Dark Man had forced Comby to face his memories of Grace and her father. How he ran him off the bridge at Pearl River and carried on to steal his child as he was drowning. He then handed Grace off to her mother because that was the job. And you don't question the job. You take the money and get drunk. As Comby slowly accepted his trauma, he started to wonder why it was his and not Jeremy's. The empty room always felt familiar. It had a mild fragrance of crushed leaves and wet sand that somehow convinced visitors that they belonged. It wasn't real, of course, but it was more real than many other things you could find. He was back in the French Quarter, his office to be exact, a place Jeremy had certainly never seen. It could only mean that the Dark Man had reached inside Edward's mind and conjured this place for him to suffer. Comby vaguely remembered the case of the missing child. She was kidnapped by her estranged father. There was some connection to a gallerist named Thornhill, a painting sold to pay for a getaway. The kidnapper had sold a painting to Thornhill, the collector, to pay for a car and enough gas to get out of Louisiana. Detective Comby was suddenly reminded of shaking him down to find out where the kidnapper was hiding. St. George's Hotel by the park. Detective Comby didn't recognize the bridge across Pearl River. It was firmly obfuscated by trauma, events that had left Comby scarred for life. Comby had run their car off the bridge. He pulled Grace out of the sinking car, but left her father to drown. He could have saved him. There was time. He just chose not to. Instead, he took Grace back to New Orleans and collected his paycheck.
Okay. The leg name's not. Bautiste. This is McCarthy's. his room. Just created a memory. These doors are blocked off except for this one here. Here we go. I hate this fucking part.
Need the key.
Radiography. Patient Jeremy Hartwood. Date June 14, 1930. Plates. Jeremy's skull proved difficult to capture properly. Partial radiographs worked best. A complete picture of the brain can be assembled by piecing 3 plates together. Observations. Even when looking at an assembled version, a shadow covers significant parts of Jeremy's brain. Possible tumor, but more likely that the equipment is failing. Jeremy reacted strongly to the pictures and claimed to see a giant clay worm eating and displacing his memories. Notes. While this exercise has left me nowhere closer to an answer, I feel confident that a Burkhart lobotomy should sever all necessary parts.
If all else fails.
Hypothetical psychosurgery based on the ideas by Burkhart and the St. Petersburg research could end up saving Jeremy's mind. Severing the connections around the frontal lobe would certainly solve most mental afflictions. The procedure would be brutal in performance, as well as in efficiency. An ice pick pushed through the edge of the eye and into the skull would untether the nerves like Alexander cutting the Gordian knot. As this would likely leave Jeremy in a very different condition, all other paths should first be explored. The medical instrument I would need for this lobotomy is missing, and I should have Waits order a new one.
Hello, what's up? I love your stream, Red Heart. It's very entertaining, Red Heart. Keep it up. Got some recommendations that will help you much in improving your
Don't mind if I do.
electrical fuse. Let's see. What was that room? Here it is. Okay. Oh, wait, hold on. Oh, no, wait. Ah, crap. There we go.
That's better.
No. Let's see if I remember. Or it could just be right here. There. This is it. Can I get lower? There. You know what? This is, yeah. Give me a few seconds. I got it now. The tag. Let's go ahead and put these back. This is the bottom half. This has to be here. And I'm assuming this here. That ain't it. It's not gonna fit. Maybe. They both need a switch. Yeah, that's not possible. Although this matches right here. There we go. What is... Oh, okay. Thank you so much. I will be keeping this up. It's one of the most interesting games that I've been playing. I did play the 92 version when I was a lot younger. Here we go again. Distorted. Oh.
Why does this keep happening? What am I supposed to do?
You get the fuck out of here, that's what you need to do. Nothing special. Let's roll. Whew. Okay. Can't believe I missed that 90 up in chapter 2.
And we're back here. Well, perfect time to have a look around this place.
News. A bust.
What is that?
A trunk. Six, 4, 1. I can't. Okay. 6, 4, 1. You know what? I don't even know this puzzle either. around this area. There. Here we go.
What's this? This is where Jeremy's hiding, right?
Hello? Is anyone there?
Jeremy?
I need help!
Wait. Can you hear me?
I'm stuck in the mud and the fire is taking
Jeremy.
me.
Where are you?
The motor is dead. I can't do anything more.
Hang on, Jeremy. I'll figure something out. I'll get the boat running.
This concludes this broadcast for now. I'm going to go ahead and change the title of this broadcast and continue on further.